And today we're going to talk about odds. So first, let's do a quick little revisit of what theoretical probability means. Theoretical probability is the number of favorable outcomes divided by the total outcomes. So if we take a real basic example like rolling a die, when you roll a die, you can get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And here's your favorable outcome. So probability of a 6 would be 1 out of all of these total, 1/6. All right, so that's theoretical probability. When we start talking about horse racing or other sorts of sports gambling, they don't use probability. Instead, they use something called odds. So to do this, I'm going to talk about a horse race from a couple years ago, the Kentucky Derby, and a 50-to-1 long shot won the Kentucky Derby. And you can see that here is a clipping, a newspaper clipping from that. When we talk about odds, you notice there's two different types. There's odds in favor and there's odds against. Odds in favor, you list the number of favorable outcomes divided by the number of unfavorable. And that's where the difference is between this and regular probability. It's not divided by the total, it's divided by the unfavorable. Whereas odds against are unfavorable divided by favorable. Odds against is what most sports gambling sites talk about. So when they said that Mind the Bird was a 50-to-1 long shot, that means that there were 50 ways for that horse to lose the race and only one way for that horse to win the race. So that horse was way more likely to lose, 50 times more likely to lose than they were to win. Let's look at another example. If we look at another example, the odds in favor of rolling a 6. So we write our sample space, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Rolling a 6. So here is the favorable outcomes, and these are the unfavorable. So when we're doing odds in favor, we would say there's 1 favorable compared to 5 unfavorable. Odds against, using the same rules, would be 5 unfavorable divided by 1 favorable. Notice we don't use fractions. Instead, we use ratios when we're talking about odds. If we go to the next page, odds in favor of rolling an even number. So I'll make my list 5, 6. How many even numbers are there? Well, there's 3, 2, 4, and 6. How many other numbers are there? There's 3. So we would say 3 to 3, which is the same thing as 1 to 1. 1-to-1 odds means it's 50-50. In favor of rolling a number greater than 2. In favor of greater than 2, that would be 3, 4, 5, and 6. So 4 ways compared to 2 ways otherwise, which is the same as 2 to 1. Against rolling an odd number. Odd numbers would be 1, 3, and 5. Against means I'm going to put those 3 on the bottom, which means the rest of them, 2, 4, and 6, would go on the top, and that can be reduced to 1, 1. Make another list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In favor of a prime. 2's a prime, 3's a prime, 5's a prime. So there's 3 primes compared to 3 others. 1 to 1. Against rolling a 5. Let's make our list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A 5, that's that one. Against a 5 means one way to roll a 5, 5 other ways. Against rolling a number less than 6. Less than 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 numbers, which means one other number. And that's how you handle odds. All right, so if you go back to this is the same one we had the other day. What are the odds in favor of a student being a female? If we add up the females, there's 21 females and there's 26 males. So in favor of being a female would be 21 females compared to 26 others. In favor of playing lacrosse, lacrosse players are 18. So 18 compared to everyone else, which would be 29. so 18 to 29. Against a player playing volleyball, there's 13 volleyball players, so 13 on bottom. Everyone else, okay, there's 47 total players, so that means there's 34 other players. Against playing lacrosse or soccer, 16 plus 18, there's 34 people who play lacrosse or soccer compared to 13 of everyone else. In favor of being a female or 7 is 21. Plus, I have to add the soccer players, the other 6 players, so that's 27 compared to everyone else, 20. Against being a female lacrosse player. So here's the female lacrosse players. So that's going to go on bottom compared to everyone else, 40 to 7. So when you're doing odds, just remember to put the favorable outcomes on either the top or the bottom, depending on whether you're doing in favor of or against. So we're not doing a total this time. That's the only difference. All right, so what I'd like for you to do next is to try the practice problems. And if you can handle those, the answers are down at the bottom, as you can see here. If you can handle all those, then you can do the odds and probability. Good luck.